Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty serious show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, as some of you may be aware, Ja Morant has recently made some news. And first of all, let me just say this. One of the reasons we're covering this is because this is a story that we covered a lot last season when this thing was breaking and really just surprising a lot of people because people just couldn't understand why Ja Morant was doing what he did. So we have a history of covering this particular story. So for us, we're just kind of picking up where we left off. But yesterday we did a live, and the live was based on a report that we got from Yahoo Sports that said that the NBA was launching an investigation into the Ja Morant incident. So we just want to quickly read from that article. The article has a headline saying, NBA reportedly issues warning to Grizzlies star Ja Morant, Warriors Buddy Hield after finger point taunt. Memphis Grizzlies star and Warriors guard Buddy Hield, in addition to their teams, were issued warnings by the NBA after inappropriate gestures Tuesday night, according to ESPN Shams. Shams reported Wednesday that Morant could be facing punishment after using a finger gun taunt during Tuesday's game, but said Wednesday that the league determined the celebrations were not intended to be violent in nature, but inappropriate and should refrain. An overhead camera caught Morant pointing finger guns at the Warriors bench during the Grizzlies' 134-125 loss on Tuesday. Multiple members of the Warriors noticed the taunt, including Draymond Green, who appeared to approach an official after Morant made the gesture. Morant received a technical foul for the taunt. Warriors guard Buddy Hield was also hit with a technical for imitating the gesture. Morant led the Grizzlies players with 36 points in the loss, and blah, 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 blah. And then it says, Ja Morant's 2023 gun suspension. Morant has received multiple suspensions from the NBA as a result of off-the-court interactions with which involve guns. Morant was initially suspended 8 games in 2023 after flashing a gun during an Instagram Live video. 2 months later, Morant flashed a gun in a separate Instagram Live video. After reviewing those incidents, the NBA issued a 25-game suspension to Morant. Morant has missed the start of the 2023-24 NBA season while serving that suspension. He was limited to just 9 games that season due to shoulder injury, and then the article concludes there. So that's the backdrop. The NBA actually made its decision. I'm actually finding out about this as we are reading this there. So just this morning, I came across some sound here from The Odd Couple, which featured Rob Parker and his guest and his co-host Kevin, and they were discussing this very issue. And essentially what Rob was saying was that, look, the NBA is going to handle Ja Morant a little bit differently because of his history. And then he began to spoke about what Ja could have been had he not had these self-inflicted wounds on himself. So this is the sound that we want to get into. But before we even get into that, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Gametime. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Gametime. Gametime is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Gametime saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Gametime Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm very interested in the game between the Wizards and the New York Knicks. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for up front. I check Gametime Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we're going to play some of what Rob had to say yesterday about Ja Morant, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Rob had to say here.
But Ja, you're in a different situation, and unfortunately, you're going to be judged differently because the first thing we think of is not Ja Morant, but Ja Wick. And that's what we're calling you, Ja Wick. So the young brother has had to learn, and to his credit, he's tried to do his best, and he has, but this is a setback. Minor, small, but you are in the case where you're trying to build back equity and grace with the league and not be on their bad side. So that was my take seeing it was, oh my gosh, that ain't a big deal. But then I had to think of the person, the history, the transaction. It's just like Isaiah Stewart of the Pistons. Everybody got suspended for that fight they had the other day. He got 2. And you're like, well, he wasn't even in it. He ran in later. Because he keeps having issues getting into scuffles.
Trying to be the enforcer or whatever he wants
the bad
to be.
boy, bring the bad boys 2.0 back. And so the league says, what do they say? You got a track record of this. We got to suspend you.
And it should count as a track record. And for Ja, unfortunately, since he's been through all this and suspensions, right, and all the other stuff that's gone on, he's like an afterthought now, which is so sad. He's such a dynamic player. Yeah. You don't hear him talk about Ja, do you?
You don't.
Be honest.
He's probably,
this year,
the 10th, 12th guy you talk about.
You just don't. You don't talk about him like he's fallen off the NBA map, so to speak. And then the only time you hear something is something related to, unfortunately, as minor really as it is, and I agree with you.
It's minor. Definitely minor.
Under normal circumstances, you might say, can you not do that? Okay? Like, can you not do that?
Right.
But it ain't the end of the world. But because he's had the issues with the guns before, the NBA is going to look at it. And I don't expect the suspension. I expect the stern talking to. Can you just stop, please?
I agree. And I think
I really do.
And I think there might be a mention allowed.
So you heard what Rob Parker had to say about that. What are my thoughts about this? Look, they're very simple. I've always had the position of I'm just confounded at why Ja would put himself in these type of situations. I just don't. I truly don't understand it. Now, what he did in that game, it's not like as if he broke some rule or anything like that. The fact of the matter is, given his history, they're going to treat him differently. That's just the reality. And when you are aware that you've been punished, served a 25-game suspension, served a 9-game suspension, lost out on some serious money, lost out on the opportunity to become the face of the NBA over this, one would think that there would be a heightened level of sensitivity, right? When it pertains to this kind of situation, one would think that you would do everything in your power to ensure that you don't find yourself replicating this type of behavior. So when he did that, a lot of people were turned off. And let me just say this. There are a lot of people that are not a fan of Ja. Let me just say, because we produce shows about this and read a lot of the comments, a lot of people don't even think he should be in the NBA. I'm not one of those people. I don't think that. But a lot of people feel pretty strongly about him. A lot of people feel like Adam Silver has been a little bit too lenient. A lot of people feel like if it was former NBA commissioner David Stern, he would be a lot more, he would come down with a very heavy hand. Right. And some people feel like Adam Silver is a little bit too understanding as a commissioner. So there are a lot of people that feel that. I don't feel that extreme. I don't think it should be. I don't think it's that serious. My only thing is why do any of this at all? Why invite the criticism? Right. Why even invite the storylines? It's like there's so many things you can make headlines for. Why does it have to be this thing? Now, some people may say, oh, it was in a heat of the moment situation. No. Look. You have to be mindful. You have to be mindful about things. You just can't react like that. You got to be mindful. It's just called having presence of mind. There's some people that you tell them to do something, later on they forget. You tell them again to do something, they forget. Tell them and after a while you say to the person you come off as somebody to me that's not serious. Because when you're serious about what you're doing and you have a presence of mind, you don't keep forgetting the same things over and over. So you can't have a blunder like that. You just simply can ill afford to have it. Now, luckily, he didn't get suspended. He did get a warning. Hopefully, this incident won't repeat itself. I pray it doesn't for his sake. Because had he got suspended or this thing had escalated rather, it could have hurt his team because his team is in a playoff hunt. And now is not the time where you want to have your star miss any games. It's too critical of a juncture in the season. But nevertheless, I agree with what Rob Parker had to say. Ja could have been the face of the NBA. I mean, based on some reports that I read a number of years ago, they were saying that Ja was on track to become a billionaire faster than LeBron James did. Just think about that. A billionaire faster. That's how much of a potential endorsement magnet he could have been. Now, most people don't want to associate with him because of this nonsense. It's just unfortunate. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.